Today on Max Handy Gadgets, we're back in the workshop working on these Baofeng and Proster two-way radios that won't transmit or charge. You think we can fix them? Let's find out. Okay, so we're going to be working on these Baofeng two-way radios. They're 16 channel and they have a range of about 2 miles really, you know, straight line. And they work really good, you know, and during storms or a hurricane when the power's out and your cell towers don't work, yeah, you can at least talk to your neighbors. And maybe if you're traveling, you can talk car to car. And they work really well. They did really good for us. But these are starting to malfunction here because they're pretty old. And let's see what this one says. Okay, this one says it doesn't transmit. In other words, when you push the transmit button, it does and doesn't transmit, I don't think. Alright, so let's check out the other ones. Okay, this is another Baofeng radio here. And this one says it doesn't hold a charge. Wait a minute. Let's look down here at the contacts. Yeah, this contact looks like it's maybe not touching. That's a quick glance at that. Yeah, alright, I gotta remember that one. Alright, let's check out this one. This is a different brand, but it's probably from Baofeng, but just rebranded. Proster. Alright, and let's see what this one says. This doesn't charge either. Now let's look at the contacts. Yeah, this one looks a little funny. Okay, I wonder why it's that left one all the time here. I don't know. We'll have to find out if it really is making contact with the battery. You know? And the charger. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's start with this one that doesn't hold a charge, and maybe we can fix it real quick by cleaning up that contact, and maybe there's internal contacts that are bad too. So let's go ahead and put these aside, and we'll kind of get into this one. Okay, if I remember right, this one doesn't hold a charge very good, so that's what it says, doesn't hold a charge. And after a little bit of talk time, it says, please charge battery. You know, so I think it's not charging properly, or it's not making contact with that contact back here to charge. So maybe we could just go ahead and clean that up and see what happens. But I think we ought to take the battery out and give it a check. But first off, let's turn it on and see how it works. Turn the knob on here. Yeah, it seems to be working and transmitting. Yep, the red light's coming on. Let's see if it really is transmitting. Let's get another one. Alright, we'll put this one on channel 1. Power on. 1. Now this one doesn't transmit, so but it receives. So let's see if we can receive this one. Okay, the green light's on. It's receiving. Transmit light on. Green light on. Yep. Definitely working. Wow, feedback. Okay. Alright, let's put this aside. Yeah, and we'll take this one and we'll, since it's working, but it's just not charging. Or it's not holding the charge. So that means it's either a weak battery or it's not really getting to the battery. The charger is not making good contact with the battery to give it a good charge. So maybe we could test the voltage across the terminals here. Yeah. Let's try that. Turn it off. Okay, let's get our meter in here. And we'll go ahead and test the voltage across the terminals. Let's set it to 20 on our scale. Can you see it? We set it to 20. Yeah, 20 volts DC. That's as low as we can go here on this scale. So let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, I'm pushing really hard right on the edge there, and nothing's happening. It must be dirty right on the edge. So let's see if it's dirty up here. Nope. Okay, it's 3.9 volts. Okay, that seems okay. But I'm pushing kind of hard, so I'm trying to get through that dirt layer there on this contact right here. See, if I touch it real lightly, it doesn't really make contact, especially on the edge. Okay, let's push hard. Yeah, there it goes. Alright, maybe it's just dirty. That'd be a good thing. But we're going to take the battery out and test the contacts on the inside and make sure. Give it a good cleaning and then put it in the charger and see if it actually really does charge. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. We'll take the battery pack out and test it. Okay. Okay, let's get the battery pack out. Now you just push down on this little button right here and it'll pop them out, which is pretty neat. Then the battery pack will just slide right out. And there's the inside there. Okay, here we have a Baofeng UHF FM transmitter, and it's transmitting on the frequency right there, and it's 5 watts, a little less than 5. It says less than 5, and over here it says 3.7 volts, so that's good to know. Okay, let's put this aside for a minute and we'll take a look at our battery. Okay, there's the contacts up there. Let's take a close look. They look a little dirty too. Especially this one feels like it's got a little crust on the end. I don't know if you can see it. These are like little pins and they're spring loaded. And I can tell they're not springy. They're kind of stuck. Okay, maybe that's all the trouble. They're just stuck and they're not making good contact with the radio either, up here. Battery kind of slides in this way with the contacts. It slides right in, and those 2 contacts right here make contact with the radio up there. Yep, okay. But the main contacts for charging is back here, and that one's definitely crusty. So maybe it wasn't making contact. Okay, let's go ahead and clean that up and we'll see. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we'll just go ahead and take a cotton swab and we'll go ahead and clean that contact up right there and see if we can get some dirt off that. We'll clean them both, but I'm mainly concerned with that one right there. Yep, there's definitely some dirt on there or something. Some kind of oil or dirt or something. Yeah, alright, let's try this one. That one's pretty dirty too. I didn't notice that though. They're both pretty dirty. Yep. Well, I'll keep doing that until they come up clean. I think we might have to actually buff this one up a little bit though. You know, with some really fine sandpaper. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take a strip of really fine sandpaper. It's like 1500 grit. And we'll go ahead and we'll take our tool and we'll put it around the end there, and just like that. And we'll hold it nice and tight. And we'll go ahead and just kind of polish this up a little bit. Oh yeah, it did a good job. Okay, let's do this one. Wow, that looks a lot better. Alright, so let's get a closer look, see how we did. Yep, that looks really good. Alright, let's go ahead and alcohol them. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, we'll let that dry. Put that aside, and we'll go ahead and get the radio here, the Walkie Talkie, and maybe we'll clean up these contacts up here. Yeah, they look a little dirty too, so let's go ahead and do that. They're not too bad. They were a little bit dirty on the side there. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that these top pins that make contact with the radio, you know, up here, the battery pins, when it slides in, they make contact with this two little tabs here, those contacts. So we're going to make sure that they're kind of springy, you know. They don't seem to be as springy as they should be. They're like stuck or something. Alright, let's go ahead and clean them up. A little bit of alcohol on there. And we'll see. Yeah, they're a little more springy. Alright. Maybe we can take a little piece of sandpaper and kind of sand the top of those down just a real little bit and buff them up. Okay, let's do that. We'll take our sandpaper again. We'll wrap it around our tool. And we'll go ahead and just kind of see how they're springy? Okay, they're working good now. I don't know if I can show you. See, they spring down. They're kind of spring loaded. Okay, they look a lot better. Let's go ahead and clean them a little more. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and put it back in the radio. Alright. Let's turn it on.
Power on. 1.
Okay, it seems to be working. Let's try to transmit. Definitely transmitting. Now when you change channels, it tells you what channel you're on. So we're on 1, and I'll go to 2.
2.
3.
3. 4. 5.
Goes all the way up to 16 channel. That's quite a few channels. That's pretty good. Alright, we'll go down to 1, and we'll shut it off. And we'll bring in our charger. Now, our charger looks to be clean, but we're going to go ahead and clean the contacts with a little bit of alcohol. And we're going to take a close look at those contacts. Yeah, maybe we ought to buff them up a little bit too with the sandpaper. Okay, we'll take the sandpaper again on our tool and we'll go ahead and buff them up lightly. right on the end there, you know. Okay. And we'll take another alcohol swab and we'll kind of swab them down. Okay, that looks pretty good. They were a little dirty, not much though. Okay, what we're going to do though is we're going to take the radio that we just cleaned the contacts on here and we're going to put that in a charger to see if it actually really does charge. Alright, this should turn red, the light when it's charging, and then green when it's done charging. So let's put it in there. Okay, it's charging right away, so that's a good sign. Yeah. Okay, let's put this whole thing aside and let it charge. Okay, now we're going to take a look at this Proster two-way radio. Yeah, it seems to be okay. I mean, it does transmit, but it just doesn't hold charge. So maybe it's the contacts down here, you know, like the other one. They're pretty dirty. You can tell right on the end there it's not making contact. And right down here, when you take a close look, right on that right side there, it's not making contact either. So it might not be getting a charge or a proper charge. Maybe we can clean them up like we did the other one and everything will be fine. We'll have to find out. Okay, it does work when you turn it on, so.
Power on. 1.
Okay, and it does transmit. Yep, it's transmitting good. Everything seems to be fine. Okay, and you can dial up the numbers, you know, the different channels.
4, 6, 8.
It goes all the way up to 16.
1.
And back to 1. Okay, let's turn it off and let's get that battery out of there and we'll clean that up like we did the other one. Yeah, they look bad now that I look at them again. Alright, let's get that out of there. Alright, let's check the radio contacts up here. They don't look too bad. Need a little cleaning. Alright. Yeah, I just was noticing it's all the same except it's a Proster. And it looks identical to the Baofeng. I think Baofeng probably makes them and Proster puts their label on. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Alright, let's put that aside for a minute and we'll take a look at the battery. Yeah, that's 30 on the ends there, right there. Probably where it makes contact going in the charger. And up here, are these springy? Yeah, they're pretty springy, but I feel something on the ends of them, like they're crusty or something. Can you see it? Yeah, okay. Let's clean these up first. These contacts. Okay, we'll go ahead and take some alcohol and we'll clean up our contacts. Let's just see how bad they really are. Not too bad there, but it just feels crusty. Yeah, a little dirt come off. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and take our sandpaper again and we'll put it back on our tool. Just like that. And we'll hold it nice and tight. And we'll go ahead and buff them up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's try this one. Yep, looks pretty good. Okay, let's give them a little clean with alcohol. Okay, let's see how we did. Looks pretty good. Yeah, we might have to buff that one up a little more. Let's try it again. We'll take our sandpaper and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Okay, we'll take some alcohol and we'll go ahead and clean it up good. Yeah, a little dirty. Okay. Got through that dirt layer, didn't we? Okay. That's better. Okay. Let's go ahead and clean up these top pins like we did the other battery, and maybe it'll work good. We'll put a little alcohol on there. Yeah, a little dirty, not much. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and take our sandpaper again. We'll wrap it around our tool there, and we'll try to clean those contacts up there. Okay, now we'll go ahead and alcohol them again. Get any residue off there. Pretty clean. Okay, and they're springy. Let's see if they're springy. Yep, they're springy. Okay. Alright, let's put that aside for a minute and we'll clean up the radio. Yeah, let's do that. We'll take our contact cleaner and, we'll take our alcohol and we'll go ahead and clean up this. Pretty clean. Yeah, a little dirty. Okay. Spin the Q-tip around and go ahead and clean it again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and put that battery in, the one that doesn't charge, and let's see if we can get it to charge. These contacts are nice and clean right here, so it should make good contact. Okay, let's see what we did here. Looks clean. So we'll go ahead and bring back our charger, and guess what? The Baofeng radio that doesn't charge or didn't charge, see, as soon as you take it in and out, it'll start to charge again, but it immediately goes green. That means it's fully charged right now, but we want to make sure it holds a charge. So now we're going to take it back out of there and just let it rest on the bench here, and then we'll do a battery test on it. Okay, for this one, this Proster that doesn't hold a charge that we just cleaned, yeah, let's go ahead and plug that in and see if it starts to charge now. Okay, it did. That's a good sign. Let's see how long that red light stays on, and hopefully it stays on maybe 20 minutes or something like that, or at least 20 minutes, and then goes green like the other one did. Alright, okay, we'll put that aside now and let that charge. Now we got this other Baofeng radio to look at. Yeah, alright. This one actually doesn't transmit, or doesn't transmit all the time when you push the button. Let me turn it on and see if I can show you.
Power on. 1.
Okay, now when you hit the button, the light's not lighting. Hear the button clicking, but the light's not coming on. Even if you push really hard, it doesn't work. I'm pushing really hard, nothing's working. Then I squash it in on the top, and sometimes I can get it to work. There it goes. See it blinking? It won't actually transmit. Okay. Okay, so this one I think we're gonna have to disassemble to get to that talk button right there, because I think the button is either messed up, the contacts are bad, or the contacts are loose, or something's going on in there. Or there's a stop that broke off, you know, where you're pushing it in too far and it's not really making contact at all. But anyhow, we're gonna have to get into this one. We're gonna tear this one all apart, I think. Yep. And get the circuit board out. And that's gonna be a job, I think, but we're gonna get it done. Yeah. Alright. Yep. Okay, first off, we'll probably end up cleaning the battery contacts because they're pretty bad anyway. So let's go ahead and clean up the contacts first, and then we'll get into it. Alright, let's do that. Let's take out the battery. Alright. Put this aside for a minute. Here's your battery. Yeah, the contacts look pretty bad. But right here it's shiny, so it probably was making contact nicely with the charger and charging, but giving it a good clean will definitely help. How are these top pins? Yeah, they're pretty good. Alright. But they still feel like there's a little crunchiness on top there. Maybe we should clean them. Alright, let's do that. Might as well clean it while we got it out, right? Okay, let's get some alcohol and we'll start off there. Yep, pretty dirty. Alright. Now we might as well get our sandpaper and buff them up good. Put it on our tool. We'll buff this one up. Okay, let's see how we did. We'll take some alcohol and we'll clean them up a little. Okay, that's pretty clean. Okay. Looking good? Yeah, okay, let's flip it over here and we'll do these contacts up here. Put a little alcohol on them. And we'll go ahead and buff them up while we're here. You know, we'll take our sandpaper and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, they look pretty good. Get a little more alcohol on there and clean up those ends. Make sure our contacts are good. Okay, it looks like this battery pack's pretty clean, so we'll just go ahead and put it aside. Okay, let's bring back that radio that, you know, doesn't transmit. Yeah. Okay, it's got the bad transmit button. It just won't do it. But let's go ahead and put the battery back and make sure.
Power on. 1.
Okay. And let's go ahead and try to transmit. Yep, nothing. Okay. We got to get into that one. Let's turn it off. Take out the battery. And we're going to tear this all apart. So it looks like we got some screws here. We might have to take our buttons, our knobs off the top. You know, our volume control and our channel selector. And we might have to unscrew the antenna. And yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. I don't know how these come apart. I'll have to get into it and we'll find out together here. Alright. Yeah, let's get some tools. Okay, let's get a little Phillips head. And let's see if we can get them out of there. Those top screws. Man, there's something in there. It's like crusty in there or something. Alright, maybe we can use a real little tiny little screwdriver and maybe we can clean out those screw heads. Yeah, there's definitely dirt in them. Okay, let's go ahead and try to get them out of there again, those Phillips heads. Okay. Wow, that one was in there. Okay, let's try this one. Wow, tight. Okay. Alright. Looks like that piece comes right off. Alright, that's good. Okay, what else we got here? Alright, those knobs probably have to come off. And so does the antenna. And oh, we got 2 more screws down here. They look to be like hex bit or something small. Alright, let's see what we got here. Maybe we got one. I think we got the smallest one here. Hopefully it fits. Let's see. Yep, okay, good. Alright. Let's see if we can get these screws out. There's one. There's the other one. We don't want to lose them. Okay, let's see how this comes apart. I mean, it might pry out of there, or... Nope. It's going to be pretty hard to get out, I think. It might be able to get under there and lift that a little bit. Let's try that. Okay, let's see if we can pry up on that a little bit. Okay, yeah. Alright, it should come out, but I think we got to take the antenna off and these knobs. Yeah, okay. I think the antenna just unscrews. Let's see. Okay, it was on there pretty tight. Alright. Yep, alright, there's your antenna. Just unscrews. Yeah, we got to take that antenna mounting ring out of there. It's got threads on it. It holds it to the housing. Yep. Alright, let's see if we can get the knobs off. And we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, let's see if we can pry up on these knobs, because it don't look like there's any set screws in there or anything, so. Think we can get under there? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there they go. Alright. There's one. Let's take the channel selector off. He's on there a little tighter, so. Yeah, he's definitely tighter. Okay, we got him. Alright. Nope. Alright, let's get up. Pry him a little more. Okay, there it is. So there we have our knobs off. Now all we got to do is try to get this mounting ring off of here for the antenna. Yeah, it's screwed on there and it tightens up on the housing, so that's got to go. Alright, let me get a tool or figure out a way to do that. It looks like there's like 4 little notches. Yeah, and we don't have a tool like that, so maybe we can just knock it loose or a little bit, or pry it loose with a screwdriver and get it to unscrew. You know, or maybe the tips of a needle nose pliers. Yeah, okay, let me get some tools. Okay, maybe we can use these, a little pair of needle nose pliers. Hope the tips are fine enough to go in there and grab that little nut that's in there. Can you see it? Maybe we can get in here like this, you know, in them notches, and grab on there and give it a twist. Man, that's tight. That's really tight. Alright. Let's give it another try. Okay, I think I got it. Alright. Okay, we got it, I think. Yep. Once you break it loose, it comes out easy. But that's pretty tight it was. Okay. See if we can get that out of there. It's pretty tight fitting in there. Alright, that little ring there, can you see it? Man, that is thin. But it was in there really tight. Okay, let's put that aside. And now, hopefully we don't have to take those nuts off of there. But we're going to find out, because they look to be like, you know, they might be a little difficult to take the nuts off the volume control and the channel control. But it doesn't look like those nuts are in the plastic. I think they might be just on this part here, you know, on the circuit board housing. Yeah, hopefully. That would be bad. Okay, let's see if we can pry that out of there and see what happens. You ready? Okay, let's lift up on it. We'll try to do it kind of gentle. Maybe we do have to take them out. I don't know. Let's see. Is anything moving? I don't know. Let's try it again. Is that moving up there? Yeah, they might have to come out. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see if we can loosen them a bit. Then we'll know. Wow. Okay, we got one coming out here. Hopefully we can get the other one out too. Yeah, this takes a special tool too, you know, like with a sleeve that goes over that control and you can undo the nut there. But I think we're getting it. You know what? I think I'm going to use a smaller screwdriver. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's give this a try. Okay, that's better. Okay, the nut is about out. Let's dump it over and see if we can get it out of there. Oh. Okay, that should come out. There it goes. Okay, we got one of the nuts out. Yeah. Alright, let's try the other one. Is it moving? Yep, okay. Just keep working it around till it comes out. Almost there. Yeah, it's out, but it's kind of stuck in there. Okay, let's see if we can dump it out of there. Almost. Wow. He's pretty thin too. That should come out. It did. Okay. Here we go. We got the other one out of there. You see it? Yeah. It's pretty thin too. Alright, now we should be able to try to get this circuit board out of here. Let's see. Let's try to get it out. We'll switch over to our larger bit here and see if we can get under that and pry that out of there now. Yeah, I think we got it. Pretty much. Okay, we got him. Oh, we got a speaker. Yep, definitely a speaker, so. Yeah, we can't be prying on the speaker there. Alright, let's just flip it over here and we'll see this button that we're dealing with. Okay. Here's the talk button. Right, when you push in on that, just about see it in there. When you push in on that, it looks like it pushes in on this button right here. So that might not be working, or the button isn't making proper contact, you know. So maybe we could kind of screw the antenna on, and maybe we could test it without putting it all back together and see. Yeah, or make contact with these contacts up here, and we'll power it up and we'll see if we can make that button work. You know, maybe it's just dirty. It's a circuit board, so I don't see where it's going to be getting dirt from, but it could be that this button really isn't making good contact with the actual circuit board right there. Okay. Okay, let me put the antenna back on so I don't blow the finals of the radio. We'll just kind of put it on gently. Okay. That's about right. Alright. And I wonder if we could take the battery, you know, and it has these pins at the top, and make contact with the circuit board here on the radio, and see if we can play with that button to make it, you know, transmit. And do all this, I think we might need an extra couple pairs of hands. Octopus hands would be good. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can slide this together. Right? And now we're going to turn it on. And hopefully that light lights when we transmit. Right there. Alright, let's turn it on. Might need a knob for that. We'll put the knob back on. Not all the way, just enough to... Okay, it's on. Now, if we play with it... Hey, maybe we can get that light to light right there if we play with this button. You ready? Can you see it? Okay, it's working. There's the light right there. Okay, ready? Yeah, okay, it's working. But I had to push really hard and it's working intermittently. So there must be some dirty contacts behind there. We're gonna have to clean them. Yeah, or put some alcohol on them and let it run down behind there. It's transmitting. Alright, but we're still going to put some alcohol on there. Maybe it'll get down in behind there and clean things up. But I think maybe what was happening was the rubber in this side wasn't hitting the right spot, or it was pushed to one side or something when it was put together. I don't know. We'll just have to see. You know, maybe it was kind of mashed to one side here, you know. Alright, let's try it again. Let's see if we can get it to transmit. Yep, it's working intermittently. Okay, let's clean up the button. We'll take the battery off and we'll clean up the button, and then we'll find out why that rubber button isn't making contact with this transmit button on the circuit board. Yeah. Okay, let's take the battery off so we don't short anything out. Okay, we'll take the antenna off again. Alright. And we don't want to break any wires off our speaker. Then we have to start soldering. Yeah. Alright, let's just go ahead and set this up where I can clean it good. I'll bring you back. I might clamp this in a little tiny vise so it doesn't move. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we went ahead and set up a vise here, and we're going to take our circuit board, right, and we're going to go ahead and take a piece of rubber tubing so we don't damage our aluminum circuit board housing here, and we're going to slip that right over that, just like that, and then we're going to go ahead and clamp that in the vise, right, so we can hold on to it. The rubber should grab it good. So we'll just go ahead and clamp that in there. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but right up in here, it seems to be either, you know, rosin flux or whatever they use to solder together, or maybe it's some kind of corrosion around some of them and making a bad connection. Now over here where the button is, it's got some corrosion there too. Can you see it? A little bit of white spots. Now, I don't know if I could zoom in any closer, but I'll give it a shot. Maybe you can see it better. Yeah, now you should be able to see it better. Yeah, right up here there's corrosion. A little bit over here. And right down here, this is the button contacts right here. And there's corrosion around that pin, this pin, and the bottom pin. And I don't see anywhere else that has any corrosion except over here near the speaker wire. Can you see it? Like a little dampness might have got in there and corroded that a little bit. Okay, what we're going to do though is we're going to alcohol them up and see if we can clean them up. So let's take a little bit of alcohol and see if we can clean them up a little bit. You see any other spots? Might need a little alcohol on a brush here maybe and get in between there a little bit. And over here. Definitely in here. Okay, it's a soft brush, so should work out alright. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's let that dry a minute and see if we did a good job. Yeah, to test our push to talk button that's right here on this side, we're going to set up a multimeter on continuity, and it goes to ground. So we're going to find the ground and we're going to go ahead and test it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, here we have our multimeter, and it's set to continuity. So let me see if I can get this in the frame for you so you can see it better. Can you see it right there? Alright, now we'll take our probe here and we'll see if we can find a ground on the chassis there. That's good. And we'll take our other lead here and we'll test for a ground. Yep, and that goes to 0 over here, our multimeter, so that's ground. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the button side, which is right there. And then we're going to go ahead and push our button in. Yeah, our button's not working right. It's trying to work. See it? Yeah, it's intermittent. Okay, I got it working, but wow, it was tough. Okay. Yeah, it's intermittent. There's something wrong with it. We're going to have to get in deeper here. So let's check it out. Okay, let's get our multimeter out of the way here for a minute. Let's undo this out of the vise. And maybe we'll go ahead and put it on its side. Okay, just like that. Let me see if I can get that glare off there. Okay, that's better. Okay. That's our push to talk button right there. And when we push down on that, it kind of makes a clicking sound real lightly, but don't make contact. I gotta wiggle it around and fiddle with it and try to get it making contact, so there's something wrong with it. And I believe that button comes apart, but there's a real little film coating on there of plastic that runs all the way down across all these buttons. I think we're going to go ahead and just try to peel that back and get under there and maybe clean it with some alcohol and then put that film back. Think we can do that? Yeah. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, we got it all set up in the vise here. And there's our transmit button right there. It's bad. And we're going to have to try to peel that cover back and get under there and clean that. Yeah, that's going to be tricky because that's pretty small. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can hook up my ground and give it a test and show you that it's not making contact. And every once in a while it does. And then intermittent. Okay, we're going to take our ground probe here and we're going to ground it to the chassis. You know, the metal. And when our other probe finds the ground, it's going to, our meter is going to go to 0 up here. Can you see it? Goes to 0. Yep. Okay. So if we find a ground, there's a ground. Now we go one notch over there. That should be our button. Now let's go ahead and push our button. See, it's not working. Every once in a while it tries to work. See, it's all intermittent. Okay. It's not solid. It doesn't work all the time even. See it? It's crazy. Alright. We're going to have to peel that back and get under there and clean that. Yeah. That's going to be tricky. But we're going to get started doing it. So. Okay, you see that button there has a little covering over that metal piece that pushes down and makes contact, and that makes for the button. So we're going to try to peel that layer back that's on there and see if we can get under there and fix it. What do you think? Can we do it? That's definitely going to be tricky. Really tricky. Okay, wonder if we can get our tweezers in there and get that. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're getting it. Okay, there it is. Okay, we'll leave our tweezers on there. Yep, it's definitely dirty. So, we're going to take a little bit of our alcohol on a swab. And we're going to go ahead and try to swab that. And we're going to swab the contact plate. If it was dirty, it wasn't much, but it might have had a little something in there. Okay, let's let that dry and we'll put it back. Okay, it looks like we got to take this off of here, believe it or not, the button. Wow, that's going to be tricky. Let's see if we can get it off there because it's got to line up perfectly in there. Okay, we got it off. And what we're going to do is we're going to join these contacts together to see if it is working. You know, when we do that. Okay, let's get on our button. And we're going to watch our meter over here. Make sure it goes to 0 when we touch the ground. Okay. Okay, we're on the ground. Now we're on the other side of the button right there. Yeah, the contacts are working. The button isn't. What's this little spot right here in the middle? Looks like an alignment hole or something. Okay, what I found out, there's 2 layers of plastic. One has a hole in it to center the button, and the other one is like a sandwich, so it covers it. Okay, before we put this button back in there, I'm going to trim that plastic off of there, and we're going to put some packaging tape right over that because this is used up. It's lost all of its stickiness, so it's probably no good anyway, and it probably won't stick back to itself. Also, you don't want to be gluing anything right there because it'll definitely run underneath the button and probably mess up the contacts. Yeah, we don't want that. So let's go ahead and trim them off, and then we'll get ready to put our button in. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see if we can put them back down there, and we'll make like a little cut right here. Maybe down about here. Okay, and we'll see if we can peel them off. There's one. See, that was causing some trouble, I think, you know. Especially this one underneath. Yeah, I think that was causing some trouble. Now we can clean it better and everything. Let's get some alcohol on there and clean it up good. Yep, it's better. We'll let that dry. Okay, what we're going to try to do is we're going to take our button and we're going to try to put it right over top of the contacts. Alright. And we're going to try to line it up real good. About like that. Okay. Then we're going to take a piece of packaging tape, yeah, and we're going to try to stick it right on there. Okay. Maybe we can go this way with it. It doesn't matter if it's bigger, we can cut it out. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, we're going to have to cut this right here and let it go down past that circuit board. And right here. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, right now we're going to test it though. Okay, let's find the ground. Yep, okay, we got a ground. Now we're going to go under here and get the contact. Okay, it's working. Here it goes. It's working. Okay, let me cut the plastic out of the way so you can see the meter. Okay. Okay, can you see the meter? Alright, let's give it a test. Okay, let's see how we're doing here after we tape that button up. If this finds a ground like this, it'll go to 0. So let's see how we're doing. Ready? Okay, it's working. Ready? Oh. Okay, it's working. Alright. I can't believe it, but we fixed it. Yeah, that was tricky. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put another piece of tape right over that to reinforce it. And we'll cut it out later. Okay, now let's go ahead and cut that out. Alright. Yeah, all we have to do is start putting us all back together. Yeah, let's get started doing that. Alright, let me get this out of the vise and I'll bring you back. Okay, let's see if we can get this back together. Yeah, okay. Let's take our rubber tube off the bottom here that we had in the vise. That did good. Okay. Alright, now we're going to take our knob off that we put on temporarily. Alright. Now this just slides in there, doesn't it? Yeah. Through those holes up top. Alright, let's see if we can get it in there. Alright, that's not bad. Everything lining up. Yep. Everything looks pretty good. Okay, there you go. She snapped in. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put our little nuts on there. You know, they could be a little tricky to put on, can't they? You know what? Before we do all that, let's go ahead and test this. Because I think I can hold it together. Maybe put 2 screws in here for the time being. You know? Alright, let's do that. We'll put these 2 screws down the bottom here in. Okay. And we'll go ahead and tighten them up a little bit. Get the other one started. Alright. Okay. Okay, before we do anything and put this all back together, let's go ahead and make sure that we are working. We'll kind of screw the antenna on here. Not too tight, you know, just put it on and make connection. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and get our battery. And snap that on. Yep. It's working. Let's put our knob on so we can turn up the volume a little bit. Okay, we got that on. Alright, let's see if we're transmitting. Yep. Transmitting. Beautiful. That's wonderful. Okay. Well, it looks like we fixed it. Now all we have to do is put it back together. Okay, let's do that. We'll take the battery out. And we'll go ahead and assemble the top part here. We'll put our nuts on. These are a bit tricky. Yeah, they're gonna be tricky. Yeah, let me get a tool for that. Maybe I can spin them in a little better. Alright, let's see if we can get that started. Wow, they're tricky. They probably have a special nut driver for these, you know. And it'd be keyed into those slots. Yep. Okay, we got that one started. I'll work on that after I get the other one started. Let's put this one on. Okay, let's see if we can start that one. Wow, they're definitely tricky without those tools that you need. Okay, I think that started. Let's see if we can get this antenna nut on there. Yeah, that was tricky too. Okay, it started, I think. Okay, I'll work on that and I'll bring you back. Yeah. Okay, it looks like I got them nice and tight. So I think they're good. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put the knobs on. Right? Okay. Okay, that's okay. I think this one goes this way. Just like that, yeah. because it's pointing to number 1, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay, that works. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and screw our antenna on. Tighten her up a little bit. Okay. Beautiful. Alright. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Now before we put our battery in, we're going to go ahead and clean up this piece. This little piece that goes on the top here. And it locks the top of the battery in. Yeah. Alright, we ought to clean this up a little bit. It's a bit crusty here where these screws are and all. Alright, let's take out the screws. And we'll clean that up a little. We use a little bit of alcohol. Okay, and we'll go ahead and clean up the screws a little bit here. Alright, we'll get the other one. Okay. Alright, let's pop them back in there. Let's put them back in there. Screw try to get away from me there. Alright, let's go ahead and put that on here. We'll tighten her up. Okay, and we'll make sure our bottom ones are tight. Okay, there you go. Alright, let's pop our battery in there. This is the one that doesn't transmit, remember? But we fixed it. Yep. Alright. There you go. Let's turn it on.
Power on. What?
Alright, let's transmit. It's transmitting, the light's lighting. Okay. Beautiful. There you go. Okay. It's working. I can't believe we fixed this one, but we did. Yeah. Okay, let's shut this off, put this one aside. And we'll bring in this one here that's on the charger. Remember, it didn't charge? Well, it's got a green light, so it works, right? And we have our other one here that we fixed, that we charged up, so we can give them a test. Yeah. All right, let's turn this one on.
Power on. What?
All right. And this will light up green when it's receiving. So we'll take this one out of the charger. This is the one that didn't charge. It's the Proster, and we'll turn it on.
Power on. What?
And we're gonna watch this green light right here. Can you see it? If that lights up, this one's transmitting too, and this one's receiving. That's good. You ready? Okay, we're transmitting, and this one's receiving. Yep, we're going to get feedback. Good. Okay. That's working. Okay, let's try the other one. Okay, we'll turn this one on.
Power on. What?
Now this one wouldn't hold a charge, but we're going to have to leave this on for a while and see if it holds that charge. And it's been doing it for ever since we started fixing the one with the button problem. So it's still holding. So let's give this one a try. Okay, ready? That one should light up green right there. when I transmit with this one. And it does. This is red transmitting and that one's green. So they're working. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys, right there. Yep, we fixed all three of them. 2 Baofengs and 1 Proster. Yeah. Now, we don't know if the Proster is going to hold a charge until we let it just sit here for a couple hours. But it's been sitting here for almost an hour, and it hasn't, you know, said please change battery or please charge battery. So it's doing pretty good. All right, maybe it was the contacts on the Proster and the other Baofeng, but this one was tricky. This is the one that it didn't transmit. The button was bad, so we're gonna go ahead and transmit. Ready? Turn it on.
Power on. 1.
Definitely working. Beautiful too. Okay, I think we got him. I can't believe we fixed this one. This one was a tough one. Yep. Okay, guys, there you have it. We fixed all 3 Walkie Talkies, and they're back working. Yeah, I can't believe we did that. I forgot to show you, they also have like an emergency light. Can you see it? It's a button here on the side. Just push it and the light comes on. And it also has a flashing light. Yep. And you can turn it off. And up here, this other button is for hearing really long distance. You could turn it on. It's like a squelch. Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, they're working good. Yeah, before we call all this good, and they're all charging and everything, you know, we let them in the charger until they said fully charged. So we're going to test each one of these under a load and see if the battery really is good. Yeah, let's do that. We'll take this one first. It's the one that doesn't transmit, but now it does because we fixed it. Yep, beautiful. Okay, let's take the battery out of this one and see how good it is. Put it right here. We'll turn it over and we'll clip our leads onto the terminals. Okay, we're showing 3.98 volts, which is beautiful. You know, it's fully charged. Now we're going to put it under a load with a 12-volt bulb. Yep, it's a kind of screw into a light socket. Yeah, I used to make emergency lighting units out of these. They work really good, you know, for camping and whatnot. You know, they draw a little too much current. But let's find out if this thing will light up a little bit and still maintain some voltage over here. Then we know it's a good battery and it can handle the load. So let's do that. We'll go ahead and hook it up. And it's lit up. And we're down to 3.22 volts, which is beautiful. Okay, it can handle that bulb and it maintains 3.22 volts. That's a good battery right there. Really good. Okay, let's disconnect it. And we'll put it back. And we'll try this other one here. We'll try the Proster. Yep, and that's still working. Yep, transmitting good. Okay, let's take the battery out of that and do the same test. Alright, we'll hook our leads up to it. Alright, we're measuring 3.87 volts, which is really good. Now let's put it under a load and see how we do. Okay, it's going down to 2.9, 2.86, settling in at 2.82, and it's under a heavy load and it's lighting the light bulb, so it's okay, but a little weak. Yep. Okay, let's take that one off. That was the one that doesn't charge, but now it does. Okay, let's try this other one. This is the Baofeng. Okay, and it
Power on.
does transmit. Yep, okay. And it showed fully charged on the charger. Now let's see how the battery really is under a load. Let's go ahead and hook up our test leads. Okay, we're showing 3.93 volts, which is really good. Now let's try it on a load. Put a load on there. Ready? Okay, it's showing 3.22 volts under a load, which is good. So that battery's good too. Alright. So we got 2 good batteries and 1 weak one. And it charged really good, so I think we're good to go. Alright, let's take it off our meter and put it back on the unit here. Okay. Okay guys, there you have it. We load tested our batteries and charged them up, and it seems like they're holding really good, and all the batteries are doing really well, so they shouldn't have a problem. And they last quite a long time on standby, so they're very good that way. And also, talk time isn't bad either. You can get quite a lot done on there talking, and you can conserve the battery life just by, you know, short amount of time you're transmitting. You know, don't talk over 10-15 seconds at a time, and you do really well. Plus you won't blow up the finals that are in there that way. Yeah, so we fixed that one. That was really difficult to fix, the one that didn't transmit, but now it does. I'm glad we fixed them all. So there you have it guys. If you're enjoying these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, I'm glad we fixed these.